Rekkanition. Makers of Portland. Now listen with your host, Rekka.
Yeah, I know, right? Dude, we stayed up to like 5 a.m. making that.
Zone did that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like 5
that's
in the morning.
legit. I want an intro song now.
Dude, we gotta make you one. It's Jimbo, y'all. Like, if you guys do not know this dude, he is literally everywhere all the time.
Good to
I
see
had
you,
to tell
Rekka.
him on that. It's good to see you too. I literally, every time I've been going out lately, I see you.
Yeah,
like, you just pop in, take a bunch of photos and dip or like something. It's like, wow, how do you do that?
Usually there for no purpose at all, usually, other than just follow and support the local talent here in town. But yeah, I run into you all the time. Seems like we're always.
I know, you always pop up and you always got your camera and you're just like popping in and what's up? How's it going?
Say
and,
cheese.
Yeah. And then next thing, well, it'll be like hours later, but next thing I know, you're like gone. And I'm like, well, he's probably on to the next one.
Yeah, I was told don't let the alcohol wear off before you post the content. People seem to like it more.
No, yeah. You crank them out literally just 24 hours. Like, it's insane.
Well, I know you've seen my show a couple times, and I know I'm on your show today. First of all, I'd like to thank you for that, but I brought you a gift.
You brought me a gift?
I brought you a gift. It reminds me of you every time I see it at my house. You got your own little breaker there.
Dude.
Little long-haired girly breaker.
That's sick. It's like one of those army men, but breakers.
And I brought mine, too, so we can hang out and dance while the show's going, so.
Dude, that's kick-ass.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, dude, your show is sick. I think it was kind of even shows like yours that kind of inspired even when this opportunity arose, where I was like, yeah, like, because we really have so much stuff and like music in Portland, like it's so crazy, many music makers. Yeah, I've been booked out for like a while and I still haven't put like a dent into like how many people are here.
Digging around and looking for it quite like you do. It's not that hard to find talented people out here. I'm blown away sometimes at how quiet they are too, on top of being talented.
Yeah.
You're like, why have we not heard about you in 17 years that you've been here or whatever? You know, and you're kind of blows me away sometimes. So
I feel like people are starting to come together and push each other up out of Portland too lately, though. It's really cool to see that.
No, the movements have gone strong. You know, in respect to your show, of course, Cross the Street, thanks for wearing the shirt. Appreciate that. Hey, represent.
Gotta go get yours.
Also, you know, Park and Spark by Brandon Spalding. Great work by him. Rekkanition, of course. There's a lot of people out here pushing the narrative. I like to call, you know, kind of what we're doing is silver medalists in a way. We really want to put the gold medal on someone else and let them shine. And I'm happy to stand there and take my medal and let you get the gold. But
yeah, I'm like the same way. I'm like, kind of like when I first started coming, I did an interview here and then I could just tell that he didn't realize how much was here. And I was like, dude, there's so much music here. And then they're like, well, let's do a show about it. Because
I watched that this morning, actually. I watched the
first one,
the OG1 episode that you did.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations on getting
Thank
OG1
you.
on the show.
Oh, my God. I'm so blessed. Yeah, it is people like you and like him that made me realize, like, where I was like, okay, like, even though I want my own platform, I can use that platform to also spread love to all the homies, helping me get where I am.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Because that's what I felt. I was like, how can I really give them the recognition that they deserve other than, you know, starting
I think that OG1 said it good in the interview again that you did with him, where he stated that, you know, let's give these people their flowers while they're still here.
Yeah.
And, you know, shows like yours, and I think kind of like myself even, I think we're showing, you know, you don't have to be the most talented person in the world. Everybody has a story. And I think more people want to know that. I'm surprised at how many people are like, I didn't know that about the guest that you had, or, you know, I never would have asked that question. So, we are opening a box for fans. So,
well, and people, I think they kind of forget that artists and DJs and people who are involved in music at all, we're all like normal people. It just, we're interested in those things a lot more than just like the everyday person.
Right. Yeah.
And so I feel like when they hear, you know, an artist or someone being their like normal self, they're like, wow, I could easily be an artist, you know, and still live a normal life.
Sure.
Because I feel like some people think we throw our lives away to just like only be an artist, when really we all have lives outside of being an artist too.
I'm blown away by that. I've done, you know, 60 some odd interviews over the last 60 some odd days with people, and I'm always blown away at the 2 or 3 days I spend learning about someone.
Yeah.
And then when they get out of the car and I shake their hand, I'm like, look at this teddy bear.
Yeah.
He may talk like this and rap like this and give, but they're all, I mean,
but he's got a family and kids or whatever it is. Yeah. So what's up with you, Jimbo? Because I feel like we met right before the pandemic, right? Started.
Or it was actually, I brought
like a couple of years.
It was a couple of years back, I think. But on Saturday, October 19th at 9 p.m. for $8, you could see Rekka about 2 years ago at the at Kelly's Olympian.
Dude, I feel like I want to frame that. Can I have that, or is that yours?
This is the only one I have.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Let's get a copy of it for you. Yeah, definitely.
I need to get a copy and like frame that, because honestly, that blew my mind to even be on that show with like the other people that are on it.
Yeah,
because they're so like, I look up to like all of them.
I met you that night. I think during my time at the Movement at KBOO, I booked you that exact same night to get you on the radio show.
I remember that. So. And that was like one of my first radio interviews too. I was all nervous and like.
I've seen you grow, Rekka. I've seen you grow.
Oh yeah, I was ridiculously nervous at the beginning of it. Yeah, because I really only came back out in music in like 2018. So that's not that long ago.
Not that long ago. That was right about then. And yeah. So. Some of the early days.
So was that 2019, you think?
I want to say, I think it might be 2018.
We need to start putting the dates, like the actual like years on our flyers.
People like me hold on to this stuff forever.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like memorabilia. I mean, even actually another thing, I think it was that show, is Randall Wyatt on that one too.
Randall Wyatt was there.
So that was the first time I ever had my name up in like.
Yeah, you were on the marquee out front.
Yeah, that was the first time that ever happened to me, and I remember taking pictures out front of it. Like,
we got a nice group photo of everybody that night. I took a nice group photo.
Yeah,
of everybody. It was everybody's name up there.
I was so excited.
Magical evening. That was a really fun show.
Oh yeah, because I didn't even know, and I was like, oh my god, that's my name. Like, yeah.
And all the stuff that Randall went on to do afterwards.
Oh
you know, he's been doing it a long time here, but then, yeah, that's a cool accomplishment, Rekka. That's cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but you're still killing it with like. So, what got you started on your shows? Like, what was the first one, and where did the name come from?
Wow. All right. So
that's too loaded question.
It's a couple. Yeah. So the show really, I have to give it up to Tim 33 1/3 at the Movement with KBOO 90.7 Sunday nights. The Movement. I've been a big KBOO radio fan my entire life, you know, back to Fresh and them. And, you know, I got an opportunity to work with them for a few years and do some of the booking for the show and bring some talent into the show. And I fell in love with that role. I really liked being able to supply cool environments for all of us local artists to do that, to be on the radio and have their music heard by, you know, just more than their baby's mamas and their friends and stuff. So it was cool. And I took advantage of it for a few years. That opportunity ended during the middle of COVID. And if I'm being truly honest, I had a terrible mental breakdown in the middle of COVID. I burned a bunch of bridges and did a bunch of stuff I'm probably pretty ashamed of at this point in my life.
Dude, do not worry about that.
But you got to burn sometimes to rebuild.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
I bought these mics. I bought these microphones, these cordless microphones for my camera, and they're, you know, $300-$400, and I just kept them in the house, kind of not knowing what to do with them. I was really intimidated by them for some reason.
Yeah.
And Zane Thomas came over one day and he did a photo shoot with me, and he's getting ready to leave. And I was like, Zane, pop these microphones on and let me, you know, try them out. So I tried them out. They worked great. The test went well. Yeah. And I just all kind of snapped at once. I was like, oh, well, I don't have the radio show. I'm not doing booking anymore. One of my favorite things actually is podcasts. I love podcasts. Yeah. I listen to them all the time. One of my biggest, no disrespect to this show, but one of my biggest things against podcasts sometimes is, you know, it's camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. And, you know, on my show, we go for a walk in Portland.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in several episodes. Every episode, it seems like there's something candid that happens, whether during the Mexican Mac episode, a woman passed by twice, and I think she was seeking attention.
She was trying to get in the camera.
Yeah,
hey,
and then the Mac was, hey, come on over here, and boom, little interaction between a complete stranger.
Perfect, though.
So that kind of just broadened the idea of like, well, let's keep it going. So I just did my immediate friends right away.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I'll get a logo called Rush One. Rush One designed a logo for me. I thought maybe I'll get some shirts. Rush made some shirts for me. I was like, man, this is going kind of well. Next thing I know, my inbox is
flooded.
I mean, you know what it's like. I mean, it's crazy. I can't serve as many people as I would like to so far, but I have done 1 or 2 shows every day for 65
That's
days.
insane. I don't know how you do that. That's insane. And you have them out. How do you get them out like within the next day?
Hours. Within hours.
You
People
just,
go
as
home.
soon as you get home, you just knock it out.
Yeah. I really want to supply content for people to watch, and I
That's like
really
insane.
want to supply information about our city and about our artists and our people, you know. I hope the show grows bigger in the sense that we're going to have some other acts. I'm going to have some comedians on the show. Sharista Tyree. Shout out Sharista. She's
she's so awesome.
I saw Roulette Delgado last night.
Oh,
Roulette's
cool.
going to be on the show.
He's sick too.
The King. Yeah. Also got a chance last night to interview Big Wino.
He's awesome. Yeah, I remember when I first met him, he was just really good. We were both like going at it and did a couple shows together, and that's how I met him. And like, I didn't even know he was so involved with like the breakdance community and stuff until he got like with the collective and stuff.
He gave me the calf last night. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, check that guy is sick. Everybody needs to check that guy out. His vibe is just super nice.
I didn't really know a lot about him until last night, so I was glad to be able to not only get to know him, but then also to have the city of Portland, for anybody that's out there watching the show, to get an opportunity to know who he is.
Oh yeah,
he got a chance to speak his mind a little bit too on the Portland Hip Hop Awards and how that works, and address a few issues that some people had about, you know, the list or whatever that really kind of flipped people on their heads around here for a little bit. But
yeah,
he made it very clear on, you know, what we all need to do to be recognized maybe next year. So so it was a great episode. I was really pleased to do that. So.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, because and him and his girl have the cutest French bulldog ever.
Oh, do
by
they?
the way, yes.
Oh, shouts to the goddess, right?
Yes, the goddess. I'm gonna steal your dog. No, I'm just kidding. No, they actually made me want to get one though. But I like how they lead. Like as soon as I met him, I was like, you need to like get in lock with the collective because you have that vibe where you're there to win, you're there to take it serious, and same with you too. You're involved with like the collective as well, though.
I was really surprised to, you know, that it's just a volunteer position. Him and Kelsey just decided to volunteer, and that just led the ball moving forward to giving their time, and they're not gatekeepers. They stated that, and I agree. I think that they're there to just help organize and push our culture and our movement here forward in Portland. So. In the DJ OG1, interview you did, he touched on some of that as well.
Well, yeah. And like, shout out to Big Wino and Lee Goddess because they literally come all the way from like Medford to come do that for Portland all the time. Like they're always at the events. They always pull up, and that's like 4 hours away.
We went to a show
like
last night, like 2 minutes away from where we did the interview. And there was a show, and right at the end of the episode, me, Big Wino, and Kelsey, we went down the street and supported some local hip hop. So.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like they're always about it, and you're always about it too. Like it literally. How do you get? Like, how many shows a night do you think you show up to sometimes? Because I feel like I've seen you pop up at multiple.
I have. There's multiple times where I'll do 2 events in one evening.
Yeah.
Usually, 3-4 nights a week, I really make an attempt to get out there and, not only show my face, but to help out the community.
Yeah.
And, buy T-shirts and CDs and stickers and all that stuff. All that stuff really adds up. I'm really big on that right now. I think there's so many talented people here. If we start teaming up and we start keeping our money in our own circle, I think that can be really cool. Spend $20 with this guy, he spends 20 with you, she spends 20 with him, and then just kind of keep it around. And same thing with the support thing. Our Facebook feed should be full of all of us.
Yeah, and sharing. I've been on like share mode lately.
Yeah, me too. Good job. Yeah.
Every time I see something as someone I know, like even if I don't necessarily have time to read it, I still share it because I'm like, somebody might have the time to do this and like or share this more. Like, no matter what it is.
There's so many wild projects that have just been spurred out of here in the last couple months too. The Swiggle Mandela album release party that he did a few weeks back. That was a great turnout for the city of Portland. He brought a lot of influential people there that night to hear that. That was a really, really nice event. Good release. Yeah. So if we could have more of this kind of positivity for everybody's projects as they come out, this could be huge. I mean,
oh yeah.
This could
and
be
I
big.
have noticed the communities are starting to come together. Like I feel like when I first started this podcast, I was talking to somebody and we were talking about how there was kind of like a time right before like COVID and all that where we had like a bunch of different cliques you know? But I feel like they're starting to finally like come together and like collaborate with each other.
Totally seen it. I've totally seen it.
It's awesome.
Shout out to the Hillsboro Clique.
Yeah.
Same thing with them. Like, you know, I've seen them mingle in, you know, to some of the more Portland crowd. And I've seen the Portland crowd now at the 1823 bar out there.
Yeah. They're going wild over there.
They've been throwing a show out there like 3 nights a week.
Yeah.
And, you know, so there's always something popping there. Shout out DJ Lady X.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. She has a show December 11th at that same bar that I'm going to be at too. You should come through.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you got to come through. It'd be awesome. I'll get you like a free ticket or something.
Put me on the list.
Put you on the list.
Been on a couple lists lately. Thanks, guys. Keep the list coming. Keeps me busy.
Well, and like you take amazing pictures too.
Thank you.
And you always have your camera on you.
Sure.
And you always have them up the next morning. Like literally I open my phone. I'm like, dang, nice pics, man. You know?
Yeah.
At the award show, I remember you popped up like super late. And then you like snapped some pics and you left, didn't you? Yeah. And I was like, he just swooped in and got all these awesome pictures and just.
That was a cool moment for me too, seeing all you guys up on stage collecting those awards that night. You know, I think out of the 5 awards given that night, I think 4 out of the 5 of y'all have been on my show. So
that
was cool. Yeah,
or at least like know you pretty well too.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the music community is like we may be like far away sometimes, but we're always kind of tight knit. Like
6 degrees of separation in the Portland music scene is pretty easy.
Yeah.
We're all fairly linked in a way. So
yeah.
I'm like jealous right now because I saw Zone on the show spinning his phone around.
Oh,
what's up to Zone? Can I get one of those? Zone? Where's the camera? Zone, where are you at? Give me, how do I get one of those?
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay. So check it out. I found mine at Target and then I saw it and I was like, I should get this for Zone. And I liked it so much. So I was like, well, he's in Hawaii, so I'm just going to keep it. But then I ordered him one online. And he's obsessed with it because he already spins his.
I saw him on the show. That's what I'm saying. On the show,
mine doesn't do it as well.
But he had his really well centered.
And mine's all destroyed from work and stuff. But you know what's funny is DJ Lady X has one too.
Oh,
and I've been seeing them everywhere in the music community where I'm like, oh, they all found it.
I'm just
like,
a fidgeter. So
I'm going to have to get you one then too.
I'm such a fidgeter. I think that would be
I'll
really
try
cool.
to find another one because like I think it was really popular because there was only one. It was hard to find online. So I feel like maybe everyone's kind of obsessed on it right now.
Yeah, it was just cool seeing him spin it. I'm like such a fidget guy. So
I didn't even know he would like it so much. Like when
he
got
loved
it. Him, dude, I know. And he even like texts me sometime and is like, thank you. Like
Zone came up on the show the other day.
Really? He was on your show?
Well, no, his name came up. He was on the Corey Mason.
I was like, how did I miss that?
Yeah, he did some of the mastering for him. Actually, on the DJ Berg, on the DJ Berg song, the stuff the stuff that I was going to share
is edited or mixed by him.
Mixed by by
Zone. It's going to be amazing. He's so good.
Yeah, he gets around.
Oh, I know. He records so many people. It's insane. But I gotta say, like, you got some bars. Is it that song you were rapping in that video?
That video, man, that thing's haunting me almost.
Why?
Those kids, I'm part of the Antelope Fishermen. Shout out to my guys, Antelope Fishermen, Figure 8 and all them.
Yeah.
By far the oldest member. I make beats and stuff, and I made some beats for Fig and them, and they made a song to one of the songs one of the beats that I made, and they were like, oh, do you want on the song? This was like a year ago. And I was like, yeah. So I recycled some old verse that I wrote like 20 years ago. But they pulled me up on stage at the Swiggle Mandela release party, and Fig set me up pretty nice, and I spit my stuff, and people went bananas. But
dude, it was good. Like, I don't know why you're like doubting yourself right now, because like when I saw it, I was like, oh, he does that. Like, I didn't even know you rapped, and I was like, okay, now it makes sense.
I don't want to say the flame burnt out, but like years ago, I was really focused on, trying to be an MC and stuff. And I think the flame just kind of burned out. I feel
like you still have it naturally though. You could tell in that video, we're just like, bam, 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 bars. Like the way you were serving it.
I do love it. I do miss it. It good.
Looked natural.
It felt good to get off stage and be recognized for something that I haven't done in so long.
Yeah.
But dusting it off, man, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you guys do it.
That's how I felt at the award show, because it had been like 2 years, something crazy, since I performed, and
That was your first time? That was your first time performing in a couple years? You did great. You did great.
You were there for the performance
I wasn't
part?
there. I saw a bunch of the videos.
Oh,
though.
thanks.
Yeah.
No, it was more like I remember when it first started, like I couldn't like hear myself at first. I had to remember where to hold the mic and stuff and like the breathing and even just being nervous.
Sure.
Like it was weird. Like it felt totally off.
I admit I have a hard time being a guest. I spent the first hour of this morning trying to dig up facts on Rekka.
Really?
I just been doing.
Did you find any facts?
I mean, I've just been doing.
Did you find anything weird where you're like, answer me this?
Your show has been pretty popular, so that's been easy thing to spot. But again, I don't know how to be a guest. I was like sitting around like the whole time, like, how do I make this relate to Rekka? And I have to remember, this isn't my show. I just have to go
you don't
and talk.
have to.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about this show too is I never have any sort of direction. I just want to like kick it and talk so people can actually like get to know the real you. And I mean, I feel like if I didn't know that you rapped bars like that, a lot of people don't know that. And now if they watch this, they're going to know that. And they're going to be like, all right, where is it? I must look it up.
Hit me up for your features.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to get you on a feature. I'm serious. Let's get you.
I'm down. I'm down to do some record. Yeah, let's go.
Maybe we'll call it Cross the Street and get your Rekkanition.
Hey. No, this is great. I'm really proud of you, Rekka. This is really, really cool.
No,
really
I'm loving it. Honestly, it's kind of kept me like in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of fell up on my lap where I was like telling someone like, I love podcasts now. Like I want my own podcast so I could talk to my rap friends. And then literally it happened like 2 weeks later. And I was like, oh, dude, now I need to do this. Like I have to show up every week and do this. And it's nice because you hook up with your friends. Like you were saying, it helps you network. Like that show I saw you at when we booked yours, I think I booked like 6 people that night, you know, because I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you since COVID and you were awesome. Let's get you on the show. And then like, oh, you're awesome too. Let's get you on the show.
I've done a couple episodes like that. I did the Big D episode. That wasn't even a planned episode. I just happened to be at the show and I saw Big D. He just got off the stage and he was all sweaty and hot. And I was like,
perfect.
Let's go. Let's get you on. So he went outside and I was like, do you want to do an episode? He's like, right now? I'm like, yeah, right now. And he's like, okay. So we just did an impromptu episode that went really well. It was pretty fun. So
that's what I love about being like an artist is it's like always showtime where it's like people are like, you want to do it? And you're like, yeah, when? And you're like, right now. You're like, yeah. Like
always on. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to get it over with too. I'm the same way like that. It's not like I don't like something, but I always get nervous. So I'm always like, let's just knock it out so I don't have to be nervous for 2 weeks until it happens, you know?
Yeah. I did my first 30-day review of the show where I was on camera. I brought my son, my oldest son, Wesley.
Oh, cool.
And he shot the first 30-day review of the show. And that was my first time being on camera like that. And I hate it. I was like...
I bet editing was like...
I didn't edit anything. That's what's great about my show. I just let it run.
Yeah.
Like whatever happens.
Yeah.
Like, so don't say anything stupid, you know, because it's going to be there.
Yeah.
But no, I hate being on camera. And it was really hard. But... shout out to Think Media, Sean Cannell, just press record. He's the one that kind of made me get over that. Sometimes you just got to do it. And
well, that is how you get over it. I have like really bad social anxiety and like I can see it in my kid. She's like super fucking shy. Like she won't let you take videos of her, pictures or nothing. And that's all like how I was. And it literally, the way I see it is like a tolerance, you know, of like how much you can take. Like for COVID, I feel like a lot of us have like PTSD and it's because we lost that tolerance for people, like human interaction. Yeah. And so we have to like get used to it again. Like you've seen people at parties. It's nothing like
greeting is weird. Isn't the greeting weird now?
It's
like, like dap, shoulder, hand, hug. What do I do here?
Yeah. And it's like what happens to me a lot at shows is I can't hear what someone's saying. And so like we all have to wear masks. But then I can't hear what someone's saying and I can't read their lips. So I'm like, this sucks. And then if you pull down your mask to talk, then it's like contradicting the whole point. And so it's like a cluster F, you know? So I think it's still weird for people.
I went through it last night. I just went outside to finish all my conversations.
That's what I'm saying. I
went through it last night. Yeah.
I had to do that at Skylar Ray's show. Did you pull up to that one too? I feel like I saw you there.
I was there. Yeah. For the record release.
That's where I got this shirt.
Yeah. Was it there? I think
it was at that bar. I don't know if it was his show.
I can't even tell anymore. Like days just.
Well, that week was nuts.
Right.
Like Andrew knows. Andrew knows how nuts that week was.
Shout out to Andrew, by the way, man behind the scenes here.
Yeah,
man.
dude. Hip Hop Week almost killed Andrew. So
I heard he's still got work to do. From
He
Hip Hop
does.
Week. Yeah.
Well, and that's because it almost killed him. So
Andrew, I do shows in less than 2 hours after I leave the guests. So
yeah. So what's your excuse, man? He's like, he could be dying from COVID, and he'd be like, so.
No, he's doing a lot here. He's doing a lot here. So.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I interview people like you. Like I had that Cliff on here. He's not like he's a DJ, but
he does a lot though.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like people that are behind the scenes, even like almost they usually do more than the artist. And sometimes like I feel like people that listen to a lot of music, they don't quite understand that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I like bringing people from, the background in and being like, yo, this person needs recognition, because if it wasn't for these people, all these people want to get their recognition.
No, that's great. No, I like, again, silver medalist. I can't express how much I really am ingrained in that in my head. Let's get you a gold. You got the fire and the flame in you right now. Then let's shoot a music video. Let's get you a dope picture. Let's get you on a radio show. Let's get you on an interview. Let's do whatever we can to push you forward. Because I don't have it in me anymore.
Yeah.
But I still want to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's really what, all of my community involvement at this point in my, 43 years in Portland.
Yeah.
That's where it's at now. If someone's 20 years younger than me and 20 years more talented, then let's get them, pushed forward.
Well, and what I enjoy about it too is you get to listen to amazing music by amazing artists, and then you also get to be a part of that community, like for life, you know, because it's not like you're trying to steal anybody's shine in any way. In fact, you're putting more shine on them. And so, like for me, I felt like the Rekkanition podcast would kind of like solidify me in Portland is how I felt, where I was like, because that's my home, so I can always be around, always doing the podcast. Like even if like I remember when I first got back into music, I was like, oh, I want to blow up, but now I'm like, really, I'd rather just make music and make a living making music around my homies that love music.
There's a great song by one of our town legends here, Cool Nuts.
Oh yeah.
That I always listen to remind myself. And it's the song called Crushed. There's a video for it. It came out in like 2014. And I want to say the man was time traveler almost.
Yeah.
Because some of the things he speaks about in 2014, if you listen to it today, it explains, he's painting a picture for these young rappers on the life. And rap dreams come like a bus in the night, I think is what he says.
Yeah.
So they just come and go, and if you're not focused on the target, at what's at hand for your career as a musician, you can very easily just, fall
My
off.
course definitely changed. I feel like COVID made it change too, because I was like, I stopped caring about any kind of fame or anything, and was just like focused. Like, I just want to be happy. Sure. I don't want to like not be able to go grocery shopping or anything stupid anyways. Like, I just want a good community of people. I was like,
there's places that we can go, Rekka, that we feel important.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of the Portland hip hop artists all fall in that same category and umbrella. There's places where we can go and feel important and get that little pride if you really want it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us don't seek it, as a priority, but when you're in a Portland show with other rappers that are in our community, we all feel important. And it's cool to have someone walk up to you and say, hi, Rekka, and hey, what's up, Jimbo?
Yeah.
And blah, 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 so keeping that spirit alive is what makes us all just keep making music.
Yeah, because it's just a vibe that like I always want to have. It's not something that I want to like do to impress anybody or like to outshine anybody either. So I kind of got rid of that pressure on myself. I feel like for a minute I was like, oh, I gotta do it, like I gotta make it, and which I still feel that way, but it's not so like, I would say almost greedy.
How many different levels of making it are there though? You know what I mean? So
I just want to make a good living. I think that's really what anybody should want. I mean, sure, I'd want to be rich, but at the same time, like I don't know. I've heard of so many people like big artists, when they're touring, it's like weird. It's a weird lifestyle. Like when they go places, they have to have security block things off, and like I don't want to go through that.
That's the
ever.
total truth. That's the total, when the guy at the DMV starts recognizing you or whatever.
That's when things get weird,
like, wow.
you know?
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, like I already kind of get it in my little hometown because I'm like the only music artist there. Right. So to them, they're like, "Oh my god,
there she is. There's Rekka." Yeah.
Yeah, they like stop me everywhere.
Your car too. You look you look like a complete rock star already. You know.
My car always grabs people's attention. I'm thinking about changing the anime on the side because it's getting all old and stuff. But literally, people like I think my car is famous, like way more famous than I am.
We just saw it right when you pulled up. Yeah. There was a lady. There was a lady that was standing on the street corner for like a solid 3 minutes before Rekka pulled up. And as soon as she saw her car, suddenly she has to cross the street. And Rekka like had to like.
What was funny is she was like staring at me as she was walking, and then
she waited. She saw you up the street and just watched and waited for you.
That's so funny. And I just like stopped all awkward, like okay.
There was no cars for 3 minutes.
I know.
The moment she saw you, she was like, "I gotta go now."
But I love it because kids love it. They always think it's like a Need for Speed car. They all go crazy about it. Yeah, and a lot of people. It's like they think that my car is more expensive because of it, you know? And, but, you know, then they ask me, how much was that? And I'm like, oh, I did it myself. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you should try it. You know, you can do it.
I worked in the car business for like 10 years. So your car is very limited in trade-in value.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We got to find one other like Ninja Warrior fan that's going to love this. But
oh, yeah. Like maybe if I like, even if I like changed it all back to like stock except for the suspension, they still would only give me like half or less of what I paid for it.
Just drive it in the ground, Rekka.
Oh, dude. And those cars, like it's not worth anything now. And it's just funny because people will kind of act as if I'm like my little cousin or nephew. He asked if I was rich. And that was when I like first bought it. And I was like, no, bro, just in debt. And like he didn't understand it. He's like, wow. Like
my uncle Patrick, rest in peace, when I was really young, he had a Volkswagen convertible in like 1987.
Ooh.
And let me tell you how a Volkswagen convertible in 1987 was like the business.
Yeah.
We saw Rambo at the drive-in.
What? Like for real?
That's how old I am. We saw Rambo, the original Rambo.
Oh, you're saying you saw the movie. I thought you saw.
Oh, no.
It's like Sylvester Stallone was at the drive-in in a rabbit? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
No. Was my homegirl had like a rabbit. It was like her first car and she was like 16, and getting into reverse on those on a stick shift is like
it's push down
hardcore hard if you're a brand new driver. And I remember so many times we couldn't get it in reverse. We'd have to push it because she couldn't get it in reverse.
Did you learn how to drive a stick that way?
I mean, I was younger than her, but my first car was a stick. Mine wasn't the rabbit though. My first car was a 300ZX, so like 80s. Cool. Yeah, I was obsessed with it with the T-top.
The two-door T-top?
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
It was like the first digital dash that ever came out. I called it the Knight Rider.
I was going to say Knight Rider. I was right through my brain.
Yeah, what was funny is I called it that before I saw the movie.
The TV series.
Oh, yeah.
It was the TV series first.
So I only saw one episode? That's all I remember. I was like 15, series. So I don't know now.
I'm like Whaler. And at Universal Studios when I was a kid, I was like 12. We went to Universal Studios and they had the KIT car. They had KIT. And it's like on like a little island that you walk out to.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and by the time you get there, they pre-program your name into the however they did it. But you sit in the car and then the KIT was like, "Hi, James."
Oh, creepy.
And I lost my mind. I was like, just like, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. No, I loved it. I love that kind of stuff too. Yeah. I've always been into cars.
Did you have a family that was involved in cars?
My dad was a mechanic. Yeah. What was really hilarious about my dad though is he was all into like American cars, like America, stupid stuff like Fords and Chevys and stuff. And he used to wear a shirt all the time that said like, "I don't know jack shit about Jap shit," and it's talking about Japanese cars.
Okay.
Because he was a mechanic and he's like, "I can't fix that," kind of thing. But I fell in love with Japanese cars. Yeah. So it's super funny. Like he hated wiring, and I'm a car audio tech. Yeah, so I feel like
it all came together.
Yeah, but yeah, and but I think I got his sense of cars in a way. Like if my car makes noise for some reason, I'm usually like 90% right, like just guessing.
I'm
It's
terrible.
so weird.
My dad was a mechanic too. He was a Ford guy though, so
that's what I'm saying. Like he just loved American stuff.
I brought home Cadillacs.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't even look at them. He would just be
so he liked Ford over Chevy.
I mean, he wasn't doing no GM stuff at all. Yeah,
it is different.
Yeah.
It's way different.
Yeah, I brought home my first Cadillac, and he was like, "Oh, it looks cool. You know how to fix it?" I'm like, well, yeah, so yeah, we'll find out.
No, my dad always helped me with my 300ZX, and he'd always yell at me whenever something would be wrong because I was so young and I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how to change my oil, and so anytime he'd like help me with something, he's like, I don't like these cars, and like, why you gotta do this, and why'd you have to buy one of these? And I just never stopped. And now, like with car audio, Japanese cars are easier than any other car. Like, my
son got into that. My oldest boy Wesley, he got into that car. Yeah, he's
crazy.
He spent a couple $1,000s to fill up his trunk with a big box.
Boom, boom, boom.
Can't even put groceries in the trunk anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, man.
Yeah, that's why I built like a fiberglass one in my car.
Oh, there you go.
Because before I had my kid, is when I first got my car, and I just had a big old box taking up the whole thing. And as soon as I had my kid, I was like, well, I don't want to sell my car, so I just have to like make it work. So I built it, but not everyone's a car audio tech too.
He just got his first car though, and I told him the first thing that you lose when you get a car is your jacket.
Oh yeah.
Sure enough, you don't have no jacket no more.
Yeah.
You just go from the house to the car to where you're going.
Yep.
He'll figure it out one day.
Yeah, that's so true. And it like for females, it becomes our purse.
Oh, that's
at least for me. I'm not a purse chick. In my car is like my purse.
I never see you with the purse. That is funny.
Every random time, like I've been kind of into those like fanny pack kind of weirdness. I kind of like those kind of bags, but
I could use one of those fanny pack things. What are the ones that the kids wear across the shoulder?
I forgot what they're called, but I know what you're talking about. I need to get one of those too because I don't. Well, that's why I've been wearing cargo pants so much.
Lots of pockets.
But even like that one night when I actually finally took out my camera for once, like
at that show,
shot
the MLA thing. Or
shout out MLA. They got some vibes.
Shout out to MLA.
I love them.
I'm trying to get them on the show. Miss Jackson's been in contact with me a couple times. She's gonna try and get on the show. I think eventually. That'd be cool.
Hey, do you know if their daughter? What is that name? Quenisha, I think her name is. She's like a really good singer. That night. It was her and her boyfriend, I believe it is. They had that like. Do you know her name?
I don't know her name. I don't know her name.
She was so good. And then I saw a post about like her being Melissa's daughter, and I was like, "What?
Oh, really?
Yeah." So I'm trying to figure out if that's true. I just saw it today.
Okay.
But random thought. So I didn't know if like you thought.
Send me that DM when you find out.
I'm gonna find out. And I'm gonna be like, "It is. You
Send me that when you find out.
Who knows? Maybe she's watching and she'll leave a comment and be like, "Yeah, that's my daughter."
Also, if my Aunt Marion, if you're out there watching Marion, love you, girl. She's struggling right now, so prayers up for Marion.
Oh yeah, prayers.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I got a little message right before we got here. Actually, she's not doing very well. So I love you, Marion. I hope everything works out.
Yeah.
I
hope so too.
Yeah,
prayers for sure. And so after this, you want to cross the street too.
Yeah, you gonna come on the show?
Yeah. Well, me and him got to do some editing for sure, but I mean. We can work it in.
It takes like 15-20 minutes to do the show.
Yeah. And I mean, we're pretty much done with this show anyways. And so we can make it happen.
Yeah, cool.
And so where can people find all of your stuff on YouTube? What's your channel called?
Yeah, let's do the shameless plug here right now. I would really love for everybody to go to Cross the Street. Just how it sounds, Cross the Street. Rekka's got the shirt on. That's what the logo looks like. Subscribe, like, and share. That's Cross the Street. I just feature Portland rappers and creatives, and the more support I can get with this, the further I'm going to be able to expand the show. I do it all for free. I bring everybody a gift to every episode that I do. And I just want to grow the show bigger to keep showing the spotlight of our city here. So take the time to also make sure you're going to subscribe and like and follow and share Rekkanition.
Yeah, thank you. And then what about on all your social medias?
You can catch me at Across the Street PDX on Instagram, Jimbo Beats on everything else. Jimbo Beats, I take up the first 20, 30 pages of Google. So anything you can find underneath there is an easy way to find me. Rekka, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you, dude. I'm glad that you came through and everything. I knew I had to get you on here because I was like, we pretty much do the same thing, but you actually go and cross the street.
Yeah.
And I think that's dope.
No, this is dope.
It's your own thing. Like, it's not just a podcast. It's like your own style.
A podcast in motion, I like to call it.
Yes, for sure. One of these times we're gonna have to like take it on the road or something.
Yeah, there you go.
You know?
Or we'll like
I'll help you with it.
Let's put some wired mics on maybe the next time I come on this show, and we'll run around and make it heck for him back there. He'll love that.
He will love that.
Give him a handheld gorilla feel for the episode.
Well, awesome. Thanks for kicking it with us, guys. I can't talk today, but we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Man, you better bring your ass off in the league. I wasn't playing, man. I feel like every time.
Get out cold as a
If you come and bring your ass, I feel like Harriet Tubman. This generic fanny pack could barely fit a dub in. A hip-hop dancer with a Glock, we be clubbing. We shoulder shrugging, so that mean he Uzi clutching. Serve a ballers for dragging, bitch, now I look like I'm Goku. Waiting on another play, me and Baton stay watching Roku. Grab 2 for a discount, my bad, I broke you. I'm toxic, trying to break on bitches I barely even spoke to. A fine ass, she really a faux logo in a wine glass. I know she a bad bitch and not by the length of her eyelash. Nigga, I run up and check it. Look like I'm athletic. Should I stay independent or go sign to authentic? I'm trying to bring some cash money, credit cards with no limit. OTR in town off the Visa swiping credits. I just score 2 bitches at the same time. Pointing out my rollie hoe is Dame John. Beautiful day in my hood, I feel like Mr. Rogers. Another 20K play off my wireless. I'm floating on these sixes like they tireless. Regardless, requirement to set up like 10 retirement. If you come and bring your ass, I feel like Harriet Tubman. This generic fanny pack could barely fit a dub in. A hip-hop dancer with a Glock, we be clubbing. We shoulder shrugging, so that mean he Uzi clutching.
Hey, get that bag, Toretto.
You know what I'm talking about, like, bitch, that shit, I'm even like, how you gonna show me? Like, if I can't count it, it don't count. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, I told like this. You let me come run up and check with me then. Get money and power, respect, gotta sin. But I got a bag feeling sexy again. They ready to spin, we ready to win. If you ain't 4-5, I can't fuck with your energy. On a FaceTime with a plug for a 20 piece. Who's to get it back? I'll show you what money means. Shit get too desperate, I'm upping this weapon. Definition to keep up my breath. Presidential rollie, I won the election. Blast the pistol, pass the metal detection. Serve dispensaries out with no discrepancy. $1 million batch and work a new recipe. I'm sweat on her, I'm flexing like Hercules. Coulda got a chain, my bitch got a surgery. Yeah, that's right, my baby got a new body. We acting brand new, ain't fucking with nobody. We be low key, we don't do shit for show body. Nigga came up and ain't let nobody. Bro told me these niggas hoes and I don't doubt it. Real nigga business, no bitching, no joking. Ain't nothing you can do about respect once it's broken. Words ain't enough, sometimes you gotta show 'em. Nigga ain't talking shit out of spoken. You let me come run up and check with me then. Get money and power, respect, gotta sin. But I got a bag feeling sexy again. They ready to spin, we ready to win. If you ain't 4-5, I can't fuck with your energy. On a FaceTime with a plug for a 20 piece. To get it back, I'll show you what money means. If shit get too desperate, I'm up in this weapon.
No weapon that's formed against me could prosper. Ready to win, it's my life, I'm the author. Married the game, left her bag at the altar. Told God forgive me, Lord Heavenly Father. Send me a queen, ain't no way I would cross her. He sent the GM, now he mad that he lost her. Masking emotions just made me a monster. A wolf in sheep clothing, the devil was Potter. Niggas get nada, we smoking cells outside. You smoke up the product, them fuck niggas not us. Here come the fuck shit, now that's where you lost us. Niggas is mockers, why these niggas mock us? Pull up and shop, or if not, we could pop up. Got babies on board, you would think I got knocked up. Open up shop, we won't close till I'm locked up. No bitch, I'm no barber, these kids get you chopped up. Brought out the choppers, think we need a mop up. He wanted a ride, but I won't pick a cop up. Go and get late for you niggas get propped up. My boy slid his noodles, then went to get softer. Exotic so loud like some bass in the opera. Ready to win, we the face of the mantra. Stop giving a fuck like I ran out of condoms. I'm Mr. TK or the Gandhi of ganja. Was getting that Afghan applause from Ghana. My nigga had crossed me, it caused me some trauma. Fuck what it cost me, that wasn't the problem. Just now when I see him, I know I'm a pop him. Prices is right, then you know I'm a cop him. Gave bro this off cause I know he gon' rock him. I think we could win with this quarterback option. They loose at the lip, so let's quit with the talking.
This shit hard. They got love for a king, nigga. They know how I'm rockin'. I love how they looking at me. 45. You know they watching, love my little 6 shot for player haters, baller block and swear I love the game on everything I love. I'm 45. They got love for a king, nigga. They know how I'm rocking. I love how they looking at me. 45. You know they watching, love my little 6 shot for player haters, baller block and swear I love the game on everything I love. I'm 45. I love my block, I love my bands, I love my whammy, my nigga. I love my bitch, I love my bros, I love my family, my nigga. I held my crown when I was down. I love the fact that we up. Scared man, no made none. I love the chances we took. I love the trips, I love the rich because I love grinding. Love how Grandma Simmons looking down, she see her boy shining. I love the fact we tackle obstacles, carry torch like relay, my nigga. I love how we carry on for road through this for CJ, my nigga. They got love for a king, nigga. They know how I'm rocking. I love how they looking at me. 45, you know they watching. Love my little 6 shot for player haters, baller block and swear I love the game on everything I love. I'm 45. I love my block, I love my bands, I love my whammy, my nigga. I love my bitch, I love my bros, I love my family, my nigga. I held my crown when I was down. I love the fact that we up. Scared man, no made none. I love the chances we took. Yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person.